Okay, this is Larissa Walren for PIDP, Foundations of Adult Learning, Cognitive Sciences video. So we're going to talk a little bit about an article written by Stephen Pan for American Scientific American, called The Interleaving Effect, Mixing It Up Boosts Learning. We're also going to reference an article called Consciousness and Cognitive Sciences by Francisco Varela, published by the European Journal of Psychoanalysis. No date, just published directly to their website. And we're going to talk about how we plan to use interleaving in our own classroom. Interleaving is a learning technique style where, rather than having a block of information, you break it down into pieces and you create a pattern where the pieces are repeated. Usually 3. So it engages with the brain's ability to form new pathways. It's a neuroplasticity technique. And the reason why we wanted to also talk about consciousness is because what part of you is really learning? It's about the experience. It's about your consciousness experiencing the new activity, the new learning. And your brain is just a tool. Your brain is not a passive ingredient in the process, but you're in control of the whole learning process. How you learn is up to you. And so this is a more dynamic, more challenging, more engaging way of learning that forces the brain to take a big step back and look at the pattern. And that experience is what deepens the learning experience. Interleaving's been around for at least 40 years. This article came with lots of references and talked quite a bit about different ways of using it. It did say that it was more for physical activities, sports, and math and sciences, although Duolingo's been using this technique as well. They've been around since 2011, so it also does work with languages. I think it can, if you can break an idea down into pieces and create a pattern, you can use the interleaving effect to teach in your classroom. I plan on using it by oscillating between 3 main factors: lecture with slides, which is a basic standard way of teaching, and then breaking that up into circle time. I'm going to have small classrooms, maybe 12 people at most, and have circle time where everybody gets a chance to talk about how it's landing for them, what comes up for them, how they think it's applicable, and really lean into the collective aspect of learning. And then also have learning activities where it's more physical, tactile, and you get to engage with a prop or something like that. And then oscillating between those 3 things so that, again, nobody's going to fall asleep in my classroom. So the Consciousness and Cognitive Sciences article, the one thing that I want to quote from that is, how can we measure consciousness and neural mechanisms without discriminating experiential counterparts? So again, we're coming back to that experiential data. As your brain is processing one experiential data, if you don't switch it up, it's going to get bored. That's why the pattern matters. That's how the pattern deepens the process. And so while you're looking at one thing and then you're switching it up, and then the brain is processing that second thing in the background, and then you switch it up again. And so it's the changing gears, the moving back and forth that really engages with deep neuroplasticity, that forces the brain to create a new pattern and a new pathway, and it just gives you better results. So overall, I hope you get the idea that interleaving, if you can take anything and break it down into parts and build a pattern out of that part, you're going to engage with neuroplasticity and get better learning. And remember, if you're thinking about it more, if you're being more conscious about it as a learner, as a teacher, the more you engage with that, the more you're going to learn, the more your students are going to learn from it. So that's our time for today. Thanks so much for watching.